Alright. Oh, okay, it's working.
Unpopular celebrities. Yeah, we speak that truth so effortlessly. Live mic, no script, just energy. From the block to the base to the legacy. Unpopular celebrities. Started with a combo, now the world leaning in. Four vets in the room, let the stories begin. No filters, no scripts, just wisdom and sin. We talk hustle hard in the places we've been. From the field to the mic, that growth is the lesson. Turn pressure into presence, that's the real confession. Got the crowd tuned in for the raw and the rare. You can feel the truth breathe through the air. Unpopular celebrities. Yeah, we speak that truth so effortlessly. Live mic, no script, just energy. From the block to the base to the legacy. Unpopular celebrities. Talk music, talk ball, talk rank and salute. Every topic on the table, every word in pursuit. We the voice for the ones that the world overlook. Turn pain into punchlines, life into the hook. Yes, in the chair, we breaking the mold. Every episode's heat, every message is gold. No gimmicks, no mask, just purpose and peace. When the lights come on, that real don't cease. Unpopular celebrities. Yeah, we speak that truth so effortlessly. Live mic, no script, just energy. From the block to the base to the legacy. Unpopular celebrity. We ain't chasing fame, we redefining the game. Give light to the name that the system can't tame. Got the people tuned in, cause they feel our lane. It's the voice of the real, not a chase for acclaim. Mic check, then the vibe start to settle for a host. One stage and the truth is the metal. So before that show start, let the beat breathe steady. When you hear the name, just know we ready. Oh yeah, when you hear the name, just know we ready. Unpopular celebrities. Yeah, we speak that truth so effortlessly. Live mic, no script, just energy. From the block to the base to the legacy. Unpopular celebrities. Unpopular celebrities. Yeah, we speak that truth so effortlessly. Live mic, no script, just energy. From the block to the base to the legacy. Unpopular celebrities. Started with a combo, now the world leaning in. Four vets in the room, let the stories begin. No filters, no scripts, just wisdom and sin. We talk hustle hard in the places we've been. From the field to the mic, that growth is the lesson. Turn pressure into presence, that's the real confession. Got the crowd tuned in for the raw and the rare. You can feel the truth breathe through the air.
Oh, I got it.
Unpopular celebrities. Yeah, we speak that truth so effortlessly. Live mic, no script, just energy. From the block to the base to the legacy. Unpopular celebrities. Talk music, talk ball, talk rank and salute. Every topic on the table, every word in pursuit. We the voice for the ones that the world overlook. Turn pain into punchlines, life into the hook. Yes, in the chair, we breaking the mold. Every episode's heat, every message is gold. No gimmicks, no mask, just purpose and peace. When the lights come on, that real don't cease. Unpopular celebrities. Yeah, we speak that truth so effortlessly. Live mic, no script, just energy. From the block to the base to the legacy. Unpopular celebrity. We ain't chasing fame, we redefining the game. Give light to the name that the system can't tame. Got the people tuned in, cause they feel our lane. It's the voice of the real, Not a chase for acclaim, mic check, then the vibe start to settle for a host. One stage and the truth is the metal, so before that show start, let the beat breathe steady. When you hear the name, just know we ready. Oh yeah, when you hear the name, just know we ready. Unpopular celebrities, yeah, we speak that truth so effortlessly. Live mic, no script, just energy. From the block to the base to the legacy. Unpopular celebrities. Unpopular celebrities, yeah, we speak that truth so effortlessly. Live mic, no script, just energy. From the block to the base to the legacy. Unpopular, yeah, celebrities. Started with a combo, now the world leaning in. For vets in the room, let the stories begin. No filters, no scripts, just wisdom and sin. We talk, hustle hard, and the places we've been. From the field to the mic, that growth is the lesson. Turn pressure into presence, that's the real confession. Got the crowd tuned in for the raw and the rare. You can feel the truth breathe through the air. Unpopular celebrities, yeah, we speak that truth so effortlessly. Live mic, no script, just energy. From the block to the base to the legacy. Unpopular celebrities. Talk music, talk ball, talk rank and salute. Every topic on the table, every word in pursuit. We the voice for the ones that the world overlook. Turn pain into punchlines, life into the hook. Yes, in the chair, we breaking the mold. Every episode's heat, every message is gold. No gimmicks, no mask, just purpose and peace. When the lights come on, that real don't cease. Unpopular celebrities, yeah, we speak that truth so effortlessly. Live mic, no script, just energy. From the block to the base to the legacy. Unpopular celebrities.
All the people on YouTube,
we redefining
see you out here early.
Give light to the name that the system can't tame. Got the people tuned in, cause they feel our lane. It's the voice of the real, not a chase for acclaim. Mic check, then the vibe start to settle for a host. One stage and the truth is the metal, so before that show start, let the beat breathe steady. When you hear the name, just know we ready. Oh yeah, when you hear the name, just know we ready. Unpopular celebrities, yeah, we speak that truth so effortlessly. Live mic, no script, just energy. From the block to the base to the legacy. Unpopular celebrities.
Turn this down. Interesting. Oh, I see what the okay. Oh man, is it early?
Unpopular celebrities, yeah, we speak that truth so effortlessly. Live mic, no script, just energy. From the block to the base to the legacy. Unpopular, yeah, celebrities. Started with a combo, now the world leaning in. For vets in the room, let the stories begin. No filters, no scripts, just wisdom and sin. We talk, hustle hard, and the places we've been. From the field to the mic, that growth is the lesson. Turn pressure into presence, that's the real confession. Got the crowd tuned in for the raw and the rare. You can feel the truth breathe through the air. Unpopular celebrities, yeah, we speak that truth so effortlessly. Live mic,
Oh shoot, why'd I just do that again?
From the block to the base to the legacy. Unpopular celebrities. Talk music, talk ball, talk rank.
Let's start a poll.
Every topic on the table, word in pursuit. We the voice for the ones that the world overlook. Turn pain into punchlines, life into the hook. Yes, in the chair, we breaking the mold. Every episode's heat, every message is gold. No gimmicks, no mask, just purpose and peace. When the lights come on, that real don't see. Unpopular celebrities. Yeah, we speak that truth so effortlessly. Live mic, no script, just energy. From the block to the base to the legacy. Unpopular celebrity. We ain't chasing fame, we redefining the game. Give light to the name that the system can't tame. Got the people tuned in, cause they feel our lane. It's the voice of the real, not a chase for acclaim. Mic check, then the vibe start to settle for a host. One stage and the truth is the medal. So before that show start, let the beat breathe steady. When you hear the name, just know we ready. Oh yeah, when you hear the name, just know we ready. Unpopular celebrities. Yeah, we speak that truth so effortlessly. Live mic, no script, just energy. From the block to the base to the legacy. Unpopular celebrities.
Oh.
Unpopular celebrities. Yeah, we speak that truth so effortlessly. Live mic, no script, just energy. From the block to the base to the legacy. Unpopular celebrities. Started with a combo, now the world leaning in. For vets in the room, let the stories begin. No filters, no scripts, just wisdom and sin. We talk hustle hard and the places we've been. From the field to the mic, that growth is the lesson. Turn pressure into presence, that's the real confession. Got the crowd tuned in for the raw and the rare. You can feel the truth breathe through the air. Unpopular celebrities. Yeah, we speak that truth so effortlessly. Live mic, no script, just energy. From the block to the base to the legacy. Unpopular celebrities. Talk music, talk ball, talk rank and salute. Every topic on the table, every word in pursuit. We the voice for the ones that the world overlook. Turn pain into punchlines, life into the hook. Yes, in the chair, we breaking the mold. Every episode's heat, every message is gold. No gimmicks, no mask, just purpose and peace. When the lights come on, that real don't cease. Unpopular celebrities. Yeah, we speak that truth so effortlessly. Live mic, no script, just energy. From the block to the base to the legacy. Unpopular celebrity. We ain't chasing fame, we redefining the game. Give light to the name that the system can't tame. Got the people tuned in, cause they feel our lane. It's the voice of the real, not a chase for acclaim. Mic check, then the vibe start to settle for a host. One stage and the truth is the medal. So before that show start, let the beat breathe steady. When you hear the name, just know we ready. Oh yeah, when you hear the name, just know we ready. Unpopular celebrities. Yeah, we speak that truth so effortlessly. Live mic, no script, just energy. From the block to the base to the legacy. Unpopular celebrities. Unpopular celebrities. Yeah, we speak that truth so effortlessly. Live mic, no script, just energy. From the block to the base to the legacy. Unpopular gimmicks, no scripts, just wisdom and sin. We talk hustle hard in the places we've been. From the field to the mic, that growth is the lesson. Turn pressure into presence, that's the real confession. Got the crowd tuned in for the raw and the rare. You can feel the truth breathe through the air. Unpopular celebrities.
All right, 5 seconds to start the intro, then start the show. Get it.
From the block to the base to the legacy. Unpopular celebrities. Talk about, talk rank and salute. Every topic on the table, every word in pursuit. We the voice for the ones that the world overlook. Turn pain into punchlines, life into the hook. Yes, in the chair, we breaking the mold. Every episode's heat, every message is gold. No gimmicks, no mask, just purpose and peace. When the lights come on, that real don't cease. Unpopular celebrities. Yeah, we speak that truth so effortlessly. Live mic, no script, just energy. From the block to the base to the legacy. Unpopular celebrity. We ain't chasing fame, we redefining the game. Give light to the name that the system can't tame. Got the people tuned in, cause they feel our lane. It's the voice of the real, not a chase for acclaim. Mic check, then the vibe start to settle for a host. One stage and the truth is the metal. So before that show start, let the beat breathe steady. When you hear the name, just know we ready. Oh yeah, when you hear the name, just know we ready. Unpopular celebrities. Yeah, we speak that truth so effortlessly. Live mic, no script, just energy. From the block to the base to the legacy. Unpopular celebrities.
Boom. I don't have my thing ready to go. Such a failure sometimes. I don't have my explosions ready to go. That's crazy. Oh well. I'll get it next time. What's good? Oh, you know what? I can't hear you. All right, now I can hear you.
You can hear me now?
Yeah, what's good? My bad.
Good. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Another day, another dollar.
Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. We back up in the building. Last Sunday of March.
Dang, it is.
April in a little bit. I am happy to be here with each and every one of you. Peace, human beings. This is Philly, DC, one of the co-hosts. To my right or your left, you have the engineer, the extraordinary PE to the T to the E. For you military folks, Papa Echo, Tango Echo. We got also Jessica Player and Del Brown in Germany. Guten Tag.
You know, he just got picked up for first art.
Oh man, congratulations. Stop the presses, everyone. Del Brown, our very own Del Brown, 1/4 of the Unpopular Celebrities is going to be a shirt. Let's hear it for him.
Yeah, that's pretty good, man. That's pretty.
Del. Shout out to you.
Oh, wrong one.
Shout out to you. Make sure you get ready. Let's do it all for him in honor of Del.
Bang, bang, Niner gang. Bang, bang, Niner gang.
I couldn't find my clap.
Do the chant for Del in honor of Del.
What's the chant?
Diamond, sharp. Diamond, sharp.
That's what Del, get your voice ready. That's what you're going to be doing.
I'm sure first sergeants all over the world hate you.
Yes, first sergeants all over the world. Diamond sharp.
First sergeants all over the world.
Diamonds are forever. We are your Unpopular Celebrities. Thank you for joining us for another edition. Happy Sunday again. If this is your first time joining us, make sure you like, share, subscribe, especially on YouTube. We're on the road to 500, and we appreciate it if you help us get there so we can help pay the bills, continue to bring you groundbreaking stories from our perspective, our point of view, through laughter, joking, and some serious sides, some jabbing and stuff. This is your first time here. Welcome again. Anytime you put something in the comments, reread it. And we look at all types of stuff. We have different things we're going to talk about. And if something you want to talk about, you put in the comments and we'll go from there. So we got a great show for y'all today. Great show. Well, every show is great. So
yeah, for sure.
Shout out to you people that's on YouTube, that's going to join us later, Instagram as well. But anyway, I'll pause there.
Yeah, I think everything's working well. I think going on early kind of helped me out. Not sure if it helped everything else out, but right now it helped me out. Yeah, that's it. I'm ready to go. I've read up on most of the topics we're going to talk about. One topic I didn't read up on, but everything else I read up on. So hopefully everything's working well. Internet seems to be working well. So no jinx on that. And we'll move it on.
Yeah. How was your week?
How was my week? Interesting, I guess, to say the least. Different than last week. Next week's going to be more interesting. So I think every week after is going to add to it every week. But all in all, slow, steady wins the race. So just one day at a time.
Okay.
Sound loud. I need to turn myself down.
Good. What's that on your couch back there?
That's funny. It's a tape measure in my computer and then my note taking. So I was measuring stuff for fixing my closet that luckily you can't see. And then I had my note taken. I had an interview this week. So I was in the interview taking stupid notes. No, I shouldn't say stupid. Taking notes. That was wrong of me to say stupid.
Yeah.
Taking notes.
Yeah. Just omit that comment, y'all.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Sound like you had a good week. That's good.
Yeah, I got to give Streamlabs some credit, but we could do that later on. Not Streamlabs, but Elgato. I got to give them credit later on, but we could do that later. Man, whatever, man. Whatever.
You'll never be sponsored again.
Hey. I'll do it later on. I'll do it correctly later on. But right now,
you gotta make sure you make it good, man. Because you know,
We'll see what
they might
happens.
they might be watching. You know what I'm saying?
Good. They should be
You gotta-
watching.
You got a camera ready to show the stuff too?
No. Don't worry about it. I got everything how I want everything. So I got it.
You know, as a suggestion, you could always like take a picture of it and then show it on the show.
Not doing that. I don't even like it. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. I'm about to say something real crazy.
Elgato, hey, this whatever he's saying is not a reflection on me. Trust me, send it to me if you like. I will do a better job. Don't hold it against us.
That's crazy. Not send it to me. I'll do better. That's crazy. That's probably the third
I'm just being-
craziest thing
I'm
I
just
heard all
trying to
day.
give constructive criticism.
That
and
is
help you out.
crazy. Send it to me. I'll do better.
I mean,
That's
like,
crazy.
that's like somebody eating a candy bar. The candy bar is good. Where is it at? Oh, I don't got a picture of it, but trust me, it's good. Like,
I'm gonna show them what they need later.
all right, okay, all right, pressing on. All right, so I suggest let's start off with the Secretary Hegseth joint.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's start off with that, and so we get some more people in the building. How many people you showing? Just
I don't care.
no? Okay, so
I'm not
I'm
looking.
gonna kind of wait till folks roll up in here, but let's start with that one first. Okay, let's see. All right, so our very own Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, has been quite an interesting character since he's been appointed the Secretary of Defense, now Secretary of War. As you know, when the new administration rolled in, there was some changes when it comes to DEI and the perception of folks who are hired in positions because of perception of hired by DEI. I'm sure you're aware of the former chief of staff, um, General CQ Brown, who was dismissed along with some other officials who were either a minority or female. And so here we are back again. So there's been reports that the Secretary of War, P. Hegseth, has
Good
removed
morning. Good morning.
several other people from the promotion of brigadier general lists. And these folks impacted are Black male officers and female officers. So what that means is when you are an 06, in order to be promoted to general, you get put on the list. And this list is sent up to the Secretary of War to approve it. In this case, for whatever reason, the Secretary of War removed these folks from the list. Now, to be fair, we don't truly know why. We don't know why because they had something derogatory in their records. Maybe they weren't qualified. I don't know. But one thing to put in context is that if they made it all the way up to his level, 9 times out of 10, they were more than qualified for the job. Something else is amiss. We don't know what it is. I'll pause there.
I mean, I think you recapped that spot on. I don't know if this is the first time this ever happened in history. That's what I would be more interested to know, is if this is the first time this has ever happened. I don't know if you're privy to that.
I don't know. I'm sure folks were, well, I think the key question is, I'm sure it happened in history, but I don't know if it's because of race or gender. Maybe because, who knows? I don't know the exact reason why. But the reason why this has brought so much attention is because of the change in policy when it comes to DEI, the perception that folks who are African American or minority or female put into positions of leadership, the perception that they were put in there because of DEI practices.
How much of that do you think is true?
You mean as far as how many people was put in those positions because of DEI? That's a good question. I can't definitively say that has never happened. Perhaps, maybe. Then
give a ballpark number. Like out of 10 people, how many of them do you think were in DEI? Just random office. I know this is all hypothetical, so just randomly.
Okay, so out of 10,
in a random office,
perhaps 2. 2 out of 10, I would think.
Okay, that's not too bad. Okay,
yeah. That's to say, I'm not saying that it never happened. I'm sure, you know what I mean? Because over time, when DEI was at the forefront, they wanted to make sure there was positive representation across the board.
Right.
If you remember years back, they did a study on a number of Black officers in the military and was significantly low. Then you had the period between the George Floyd years up to this administration where there was a big push to making sure folks were represented properly.
Right.
So that's why I would say 2 out of 10. But I think for me, the danger is when we get into a point where we assume because you are a minority or a female that you get selected for a senior position. That's the only reason why. I think that's the danger.
Yeah, I think that is a dangerous, slippery slope. And I think it's dangerous on both sides. Also accusing Secretary Hegseth for not selecting them because he thought they were selecting under DEI. Because I don't think he ever said why he actually didn't select them.
Yeah, he's not going to do that. Yeah.
So which I guess begs to the question, oh man, this is where it gets interesting. Would you ask somebody else, any other president who did that, to tell everybody why they didn't?
What you mean?
Like, say it was Joe Biden, say it was Obama, say it was the Bush. Would you ask him or whoever their Secretary of Defense was at that time? Would you ask, or would the question come up, why didn't you select them? That's why I would be interested to know if this has ever happened in history. I guess it has, because they're not making a huge deal out of it. I think it's extra unordinary because, like you said, when you make it up to that level, how many people have scrutinized your records throughout years of service. You know, it's not like they've been in for 10 years. They probably been in for 20, 25, 30 years plus.
Mm.
And so it's like, if you've been scrutinized all that time, it's like, and you make it up to the hiring authority or the top dog and they say no, I would think somebody would ask a question. Because how many people, I mean, I don't think you know, maybe you do. I should have just asked the question, not assumed that how many people had to look at their records to go to that level?
I don't know the exact number, but quite a few. I mean, you
Quite
figure
a few.
gotta go through their immediate supervisor, which is more than likely a 2-star.
Right.
And then I would imagine it would go to like a major command review who's a 4-star.
Right.
And then straight through probably, I would assume, Congress or whatever.
Somebody at the Pentagon, probably.
Yeah, it's gotta, it's
Yeah.
a lot of people that had to look at those records. So why these particular folks, specifically, you know what I mean? And then, I mean, if the shoe fits, I mean, if you look at it, if they're talking about DEI and the practices of DEI, you look at the history of the folks who were removed because they were more than qualified, but because they were a minority. And then you have this where you have these folks removed from the list and they just happen to be African American and females. You can't help but think, what is the issue?
Mm-hmm.
You know? Yeah, of course he's not gonna come out and say I've removed them because they were black or female. He's not gonna say that. But I do think it's fair for the media to come to an assumption and ask the question. And I think it's fair for him to be able to say, like, look, this is the reason why I just didn't think they were qualified. Then we would just have to come to our own conclusion, but we didn't get that. And
No,
so
you're right. Yeah.
that begs a question like this. We talked about this before in previous shows about merit versus diversity. You know, the example I believe I gave one time is you've got an African American individual and a Caucasian individual and a Latino individual going up for the same job, and they're all three are equally qualified. But let's just say the hiring authority wants more representation by a specific race, and he decides to select the person who's Latino. Is he wrong? I don't think so. The key is are they all equally qualified? Yes. And if he or she decides, I want to hire the individual who's a Latino because I want more Latino representation in my formation, in my leadership formation.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with that? I mean, they're all
Nothing.
equally qualified, right?
Yeah.
Now, it's one thing if out of the three, the individual they selected, let's say the Latino is not nowhere near as qualified as the other two, but they selected Latino anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you have an issue. Because now you're basing it off of race
Yeah.
outside of merit.
Right. Right.
But the thing in this case is you just don't know. You know what I mean? Like, and then there's the issue with checks and balances too. Like, who overrides the Secretary of War? The president. And will the president will do that? Probably not.
No. He would look crazy. I mean, you know what? I was reading up on this. There was a case a while ago where there was a female doing the same thing, and she got she didn't get the promotion, but then it went up to somebody else. I can't remember who at the time. I can't remember the name or position, but they overrid it, and then she ended up getting her promotion. But I don't think it was the Secretary of Defense who blackballed it, I guess, if you want to call it that. I don't know what the proper term is. Stopped it, blackballed it, whatever. But yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it makes me I don't know. I think I don't have to worry about that anymore, but it makes me concerned about because when you're in a leadership position, what you say and do matters.
Okay.
And it can permeate down to the lower ranks. And if you have a person in a senior position like that making decisions based off of, well, if these individuals, even though they're qualified, I'm gonna remove them from the promotion list. how does that affect other folks?
Well,
Folks
here's
that
what
are in positions now that may be the same race or gender, people might look at them sideways like, hey, they're a DEI hire too.
wait, okay, wait. This is where I think we go left. And I know it's almost like hit dogs will holler, right? If it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it must be a duck, right? So he never said that it was a DEI thing. And he's not an elected official. He was put into a position by the president of the United States. He really don't have to give an explanation for nothing. Who does he owe an explanation to? He's not an elected official. I can see if he was Congress and somebody elected him in that position, but he just was hired. So he doesn't owe anybody an explanation. If it's in his realm of his responsibilities as the Secretary of War, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying he don't owe an explanation. Nor can we assume, if he didn't say anything, why those people were not selected.
Well, that's where you're wrong on that last point. Yes, we can assume. We can.
No, you can. I mean, you can assume anything you want. Nobody's saying you can assume, but you have to be careful with assumptions.
Just like he has to be careful based on the message he sends. It doesn't matter if you were not an elected official or not. If you are in a position of leadership, which he is in the same line of leadership position as the president, as the vice president.
President was elected.
It doesn't matter if you wasn't elected. You are a leader, just like a commander is not elected, right?
Correct.
Right? So
Correct.
in other words, just like the commander don't have to explain it, but he or she should, right? I mean, if you are in a position where you're leading people and you make a decision and it causes a bunch of dissension in the ranks, the right thing to do is to say something, is to make an explanation, whether they like it or not. And furthermore, you know, they always say, like, you need to write your own story. If there is no issue, or if he had a legitimate reason for doing it, what is the harm in saying, I removed them from the list because I didn't feel like they were qualified, period. That's it.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. You're saying the right thing to do, and I agree with you. That's the right thing to do. That is the right thing to do. But I mean, he really doesn't have to.
That's the issue. Yeah.
I think you're right on the dissension. I think the word is the disruption amongst the formation ranks. You're absolutely right about that. At the end of the day, I don't want to say he probably doesn't care.
He don't care.
Okay. Yeah, I would hate to say it's obvious, I guess, that is not on his forefront how this affects the force. That is probably the when I say the force, I mean Department of Defense.
Transparency is important. And I think it's a sign of leadership, of strong leadership, of being transparent. And it's no different than you tell somebody, you give somebody an order. They may not like it, your explanation, but you gave one.
Right.
And then there's some cases where you don't give one, like you're in battle, whatever. You don't have time to tell somebody to take a hill or whatever. But in this case, if there's a narrative out there that states or is trying to state why he removed these folks from the list, why not address it? Why not?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you.
9 times out of 10, if the media is saying something, that means people in your ranks are saying something. And then not like that, people are going to scrutinize every decision, which they already are,
right,
that he makes in that respect. So why not say something?
And maybe he's waiting for his PR people to give him the right verbiage to say. But anyway, we'll see. Maybe next week he'll say something.
He don't give two ducks, man. And then I wouldn't say, like, I'm sure there are some people out there that subscribe that this guy is doing a phenomenal job as a Secretary of War. There's some folks out there like, yeah, this is what we need, a leader who don't give two shits or whatever. I'm sure there's people out there like that. Just like there are people out there to be like, I'm happy I'm in a administration where we gonna bomb the enemy into oblivion and we gonna say what we mean. I'm sure there's people out there like that. I, for one, are not. I think I think it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, you got to get to a point where there's certain things that is expected of you from being a leader. There is.
Hmm.
So I don't think they get that. But anyway, moving on. If you
Move
would
on.
like.
Yeah.
All right. So then you had that one. Let's move on to some funny stuff. So for all you, just full transparency, I'm not really a big R&B person. You know, back in the day, I like old school R&B, like New Edition, Patti
I'm about to say,
LaBelle.
some people say Tank and Tyrese are old school, depending on what your generation is.
No, yeah. If you think Tank and Tyrese old school, just go listen somewhere else, man. Because that's another story. I was talking to my wife yesterday. We was watching old school videos, and my God, there was no era better than the 90s. Oh my God. It brought back so many memories, man. The 90s was where it's at. The music, the clothing style, sports, entertainment. The 90s was where it's at. Now we're in a dark period. Anyway, that's another topic for another day. But as Pete alluded to, we're going to talk about the Tyrese versus Tank versus battle. For those who may not know what versus is, basically it is a platform created by Swiss Beats, and I can't remember the other person's name, where they grab artists, usually old artists, and then they put them together and they do their hits back and forth for the people in attendance and watching. They've had a lot of rap versus battles and stuff. They had a couple of R&B and gospel battles. The reason why this one is pretty interesting is that these two individuals, Tank and Tyrese, they were once on a group called TGT.
Mm-hmm.
Tyrese, Genuine, and Tank, or vice versa. Tank, Genuine, and Tyrese. I don't know. And according to Genuine, even when they were in a group, they would go back and forth with each other like brothers. You know what I mean? It was all like fun, but it was a healthy competition. So they did a versus. And before the versus, they was going back and forth on social media, jibber jabbering back and forth. So anyway, they did the versus, and it was quite entertaining. Again, I'm not a big Tank and Tyrese fan. I don't know too many Tank hits, not too many Tyrese hits. But what's up, Chris? What's going on, brother? Welcome. Good morning, man. But it was interesting. And so usually in these versus battles, they try to figure out who won. I will tell you, there was one particular point in the versus battle that I think the reason why they say Tank won. If you're in the comments, y'all put down there, if y'all watched it, who you think won. But anyway, I would love to play a clip of the one spot where I think Tank actually won the battle. I'll pause there if you want to comment on that before I play it.
Yeah. So I watched it this morning, man. I'll be honest, man. Versus is not meant for R&B. It is not meant for R&B. It is more, I mean, hip hop steals verses, and I think we talked about the Cash Money No Limit one, the JD Kiss one. Yeah, obviously Chris saw it. So he I don't really know who won because they were so left and right with their stuff. And I think Tyrese has more mainstream hits lately. And what was his first song?
A Coca-Cola joint?
Yeah, that one.
That wasn't no hit out the commercial.
No, that's a whole song. The Coca-Cola joint?
Man.
Yes, it is. This is his very first single. This is his very first. Oh, now I gotta look it up. Somebody help me out in the comments while I'm looking this up.
Nah, man.
Yeah, first single was on the Coca. Sweet Lady. No. Yeah, Sweet Lady.
Sweet Lady was one.
Sweet Lady was a Coca-Cola commercial.
No, it was not, man.
Here we go. I'll play it. Don't worry. I'll play it.
Go ahead and play
it. Play it. Goodness gracious.
Once again, I'll prove myself right again.
Oops. Let me get this thing up and running. Goodness gracious. Tyrese, Coke. There we go. Man, that was 1994. All right. Boom. Let me see if I got this. Nope. Put this here. Hey. Cooperate. Oh. Bing. Put this up here. This down here. Make sure, man, it's so hard to do this on the fly. This is why we need an engineer for real engineer. All right. Let me give you access. I don't know if it will play. Let me see. I don't think it will play. No, you ain't gonna be able to hear it. I can hear it in my ear. Let me make sure I'm right before I... Oh, actually, you're right. It wasn't. It was Always Coca-Cola was the name of it. Always Coca-Cola. But Sweet Lady was his first single. But anyway, like I'll say, Sweet Lady, Lately, Signs of Love Making, all those are hits. Tank has some hits, and Tank has some hits that you just vibe out to. He's not really a live performer, hit maker. Either really is Tyrese, to be honest. And Tyrese brought out, I think he brought Chingy out. I didn't know Chingy had a song with Tyrese. I was like, man, who the hell is Chingy? I ain't heard Chingy in years. But yeah, that's my thought on it. Man, Tyrese came out in 98. Goodness gracious. But at the end of the day, I don't think any one of them won. It was very lackluster. It's not something that you listen to on a versus at all.
Nah, I disagree, man. I noticed on my Streamlabs, I have no ability to share anything, so I wanted to play the video, but I cannot.
Why don't you have the ability
All I
to
see is mute video and leave. That's it. So I wanted to play y'all the 1 point or part of verses that I feel, and really the internet is saying as well, why Tank won. In fact, they said Tank dominated.
What?
The only thing I will say that is an asterisk is Tank, the majority of the songs he sang were stuff that he wrote for people. And he brought out a lot of guests like Jamie Foxx and some other people or whatever. Whereas Tyrese only had like one guest or something. But although technically in the verses joint, that's fair. You can do your songs and songs that you contributed to. So maybe Tank was a little bit more prepared. And if I could play this clip, which I thought was a highlight of the versus battle, that to me shows that Tank was ready. He got that dude good. But I will give you my rendition of it. There was one point of the versus battle where Tank was finishing up a song and Tyrese was changing his wardrobe throughout the battle. And so while Tank was finishing up a song, people was waiting around. So Tank was singing like, he's back there changing his wardrobe. And then Tyrese walks out, and throughout the whole versus battle, Tyrese had on this long black turtleneck. And so he was changing his clothes, but he changed everything besides the turtleneck. So Tank, which I thought was brilliant, and he's known to be like, an amateur stand-up comedian. I guess he's spotted to get in comedy.
Really?
Yeah. So he's on the microphone and he says, "You recycle that turtleneck," and then the band was all in sync with how he was singing. He was like, "You recycle that turtleneck," and you can hear the reverb. Turtleneck. Anytime you feel like you can take off that turtleneck, you gonna suffocate in this verses. And it was like turtleneck, It was so bad. Tyrese was singing along with him. And when he finally finished the set, Tyrese looks at the audience. He says, "You know, the hard part is trying to bring y'all back up because of this dang turtleneck. Go ahead and get it out y'all system. Start singing the turtleneck. Get it over." So that was the whole joke of the whole versus battle was that one. He got him pretty good. So I personally enjoyed it. It was all right. I'm not a big R&B head, but in comparison to some of the versus battles that was rap battles, I thought it was pretty good, especially for R&B one.
Gene Harrison said the fans of the 2 won, but this versus battle was not it. I totally agree. I totally agree.
What did y'all expect? What did y'all expect?
I don't know. It's just like compared to the other verses and this verses, it was totally different. And I think that's the downfall of it. It's not hip hop. It's not like with the Cash Money No Limit one, bro. I listened to the whole thing and was sitting there bouncing around, singing along and all that. Man, with this one, it's just like, and I
compare that to,
and I really like Tank. I like Tank more than Tyrese, but I like Tyrese's joint. I think I know the majority of both their songs. I just couldn't get into it. I mean, they both can still sing. Don't get me wrong. It ain't like they couldn't sing, but it just was not something that moved my knee. I spent most of the time fast forwarding it. Like, oh, okay, I know that song. Fast forward. I know that song. Jill Scott, Erykah Badu versus
that was fire.
Brought You Back to the Time. That one was good. Good shot. Good comment, Gene. That one was good. So that's okay. If you want to compare those two, now I could tell you that, yeah, that one was trash. That one was definitely trash.
I don't think it was. Come on, man. It wasn't trash. It wasn't better than Jill Scott, Erykah Badu. First of all, Jill Scott, Erykah Badu are much better artists than Tank and Tyrese.
Okay.
How many people riding around in their car listening to Tank?
True.
Or Tyrese.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, true. And that's why I said they're not that type of verses where, they're not going to get you. It's just something it's something I wouldn't want to listen to live. I would rather listen to their tracks and do like my own verses than listen to them live and do it. But you're right with the turtleneck part. It's like, that's how bad the verses was when that was the highlight. That tells you how bad the verses was when the only highlight was not one of their songs. It was an improv.
Wow.
That's just my comment. I mean, I don't know.
Wow. Man.
I mean, and Tyrese, Tank, he just, hey, hold on.
What do you do? No. Do it in your regular voice. No. That ain't working. Do it in your regular voice. What do you do?
Ooh, baby. Sitting in the front row. Got that shirt on that I like. Like, I just can't get into it.
I'm not really an R&B guy anyway. I think it's mostly for the ladies. I think public service, here's a PSA for you. If you are a man and you ride around listening to R&B leaning out the window, something's wrong with you.
Hey, wait a minute. Hold on. I do that.
I'm talking about I'm not talking about like
a song. Okay.
And then they go to it. I'm talking about a full album.
Oh, okay.
If you are a man and you are listening to Tank and your car, the full album, pack it up, son.
Nah, I'll do that. I'll do that in my house. I'll put it in headphones. Matter of fact, speaking of full albums, Kanye just dropped the album.
Really?
Yeah, last night.
Really? I didn't know.
Called Bully. Hey, if you listen to that first track of Bully, my God, you would think Kanye is back, and then it falls off. But that first track, holy moly, Kanye is back.
Really?
Yeah, Kanye had a good album. That first song called Bully, my goodness. He was in his bag on that one. He was in his old Kanye bag.
Really? Oh, it's an EP.
Yeah, G said nobody listening to Tank. I like Tank. Especially
EP.
Especially if you're trying to get the ladies in the mood, Tank will get you there.
Back in the day.
Look,
back
first
in
of
the
all,
day.
here's another thing. If you are a man and you with your woman and you having like, an intimate moment and you playing some other man, pack it up, son.
Are you
There's no way.
serious?
No.
Are you
No.
serious?
No, I am not. Look, if your lady says put on Tank,
Take 3 takes off.
something's wrong with that. Pack that up, man.
No. So here's the thing.
That's
When you
different.
went up,
I'll put it like this. It's different. Okay, it's different. Like say you say
What,
you got some new
Johnny
additions in
Gill?
the bag. True, Johnny Gill, right? But I'm saying if your lady tells you stop, put Tank on, pack that up, son.
Yeah,
Pack it up.
if a girl ever tells you to put on this artist, like she's more into the song than into you. Like you're right.
Or she
Hey,
humming the song. Oh,
yeah,
heck no.
nah,
Pack
yeah.
that up, son. No,
Unless you in the car, that's about it.
How
But
many dudes is gonna be like, hold on, baby? You know what I mean? Put on I don't know, put on Jill Scott.
nah, see, this is why I kind of like you're supposed to have your playlist on deck. And whatever your playlist is, what it is. Now, she be like, I don't like that song. Cool, you skip it and go to the next song. But I ain't a freaking DJ. I ain't gonna just sit here and give you requests of what you want. You get my playlist and that's it. But you know what's funny? Off the top of my head, I couldn't name 3 Tank songs. I can name Dirty.
Nor can I.
Dirty is probably my favorite one. And then there's like 2 other songs I just know them if I hear them. Like I put Tank on. I don't think that was ever. Thank you, Gene. I don't think that was ever stated ever. Put Tank. I wish somebody would.
You know what, G? I know. You know what, G? I can tell, man. Knowing you a lover dude, man. I bet you be rolling around just like Nicholas Jackson, listening to R&B in your car, man. Tell the truth, bro.
Okay.
You look like a lover dude, man.
Okay.
You be sitting in the car like, sweet lady, won't you be my back of your car? Nah, man, pack that up, son.
You gotta have the right. See, you don't have the right moxie to do that. That's more of a light skin thing. To be able to sit there, ride with a girl in the car, and sing Tyrese, you gotta have the right flow and skill. Like that's like singing Bruno Mars. Like you have to have the right skill to do that. Y'all don't have it. It's y'all skin complexion. It's really a light skin thing.
Wait a minute. You actually shaming me because of my complexion?
No, I'm not shaming.
I'm just saying y'all. Who are you referring to?
Y'all dark skinned people.
Y'all dark skinned people. You're
I'm not shaming.
I'm speechless.
I'm not shaming. I'm just saying more or less of a light skin thing. We ride around, listen to our R&B. You know, that's where I'll be sure started everything out.
Turkish anyway.
Okay.
We already established that in the old show.
One is a race, one is a skin complexion. You can't compare a skin complexion to a race.
What I'm saying is we don't know who you are anyway.
It doesn't matter. I'm just saying skin complexion. It doesn't matter if I'm Puerto Rican, black, white, Turkish, Jewish,
Mediterranean.
None of that matters. It's a complexion. It's like if you look at a wall like, man, that wall looks Turkish. You don't say that. That wall is gray or that wall is blue. That's a complexion. Hit your button on yourself. Hit your own button on yourself. Ain't no Tyrese playing. My pops was old. Thank you. My pops was old Earth, Wind, and Fire and Keith Sweat. Man, Earth, Wind, and Fire go hard. Keith Sweat I never really got into. Never really got into Keith Sweat. Pete, we not stating this colorism. I'm just saying. You ride around listening to Drake, John B was the joint. Christopher Williams I'll listen to, but John B was the joint.
How are you gonna say you know what? You just said you don't know Christopher Williams, but you listen to John B.
I didn't say I didn't know him. I said I don't really listen to him.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not. That's completely different. That's two totally different. If I say who the heck is I don't know, name anybody, and you be like, I don't know who that is. that's
It's the same
fair.
in my book.
Or if you say, hey, who the heck is this person? I don't watch them, but I know who they are. Completely different.
Just totally.
It's just like if somebody say, hey, I like Druski. I don't really watch Druski, but I know who he is. If he was up on a TV, I'll be like, oh, that's Druski. Completely different things.
That's just why Yo Black Car was taken shows ago. How can you listen to John B and not Christopher Williams?
I didn't say I don't listen to him. I said I don't really listen to him. That doesn't mean I haven't heard before. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Okay, let me think. Do you listen to Lil Wayne?
Who's Lil Wayne?
Exactly my point. Exactly my point.
Lil Wayne is fool.
I said, do you listen to him?
Yeah, occasionally.
But you know who he is.
Yeah, I heard of him. Yeah.
That's the same thing. That's the same thing. So what you're saying is, you don't listen to Lil Wayne. Oh no, I do occasionally. Because you use the word occasionally. That makes it. How about Styles P? Do you listen to Styles P?
Yes, I do listen to Styles. Do you even know who Styles P is?
I just randomly picked a random name. I just randomly picked a random
Maybe
name.
one Styles P song.
I could. Oh, what's his name song? Name a Styles P song. Name a Styles P song.
Ghost.
I never heard of it.
Ghost, exactly.
Never heard of it. Never heard of it. Never heard of that song. Never heard of that song.
All right, moving on, man. Moving on. I don't even know how we got on this one. Moving on. All right. So that was Tank versus Tyrese. Takeaway from that one. He don't like it. Not surprising. Me, I thought it was all right. I would give it a B.
Damn.
I would give it a B.
Who would you give an A to? Who would you give an A to?
Erykah Badu, Jill Scott.
So they're right under. Who would you give a C to?
Cash Money Records versus No Limit, A.
Who would you give a C?
Locks versus Diplomats.
That was a C? Oh.
No, that's an A, man. What you talking about?
I said, who would you give a C to? If they're a B, who would you give a C to?
Let's see. The Kirk Franklin joint.
Oh, that was whack. Yeah, that was whack. That was worse. That was real bad.
Dang near, what was the other one? Was it Jeezy and something?
Did Jeezy have a versus?
That's versus. I can't remember. But yeah. Anyway, Erykah Badu. Oh, yeah, the producer joint. I thought those was a C.
Babyface, Teddy Riley.
Yeah, C.
Brandy Monica. I don't remember that one.
C.
DMX and Snoop Dogg. They did. Oh, Jeezy and Gucci Man. Thank you, Gene. Yeah, Jeezy and Gucci Man.
D.
Here are the list of versus battles that have taken place. Swiss Beats and Timberland. Don't remember.
D.
Hip Boy and Boy ID. I don't know. Yes. Neo and Jotana Austin.
F.
Scott Storch and Manny Fresh. I didn't hear that one. It's probably pretty good.
D.
T-Pain and Lil Jon. Didn't listen to it.
D.
Nelly and Ludacris. Oh, that was actually all right. I do remember that. 112 and Jagged Edge. That sounds good, but I don't remember it. Ashanti and Keisha Coles. 3-6 and Bone Thugs. Don't remember that. Omarion and
the whole list.
That's it. There's like 4 more, but that's it. Anyway,
I'll give it a B.
Okay.
Moving on. Let's talk about something even more funny. So I'm sure you guys have heard of the comedian Druski. Druski has been pretty famous across the social media landscape for all of his impressions. So he's done an impression of a NASCAR Caucasian individual with dressed in whiteface and denim coveralls. That was pretty famous, went over 1 million views. Then you had the depiction of a white man hanging out with black folks in the hood. That one went viral. And then you had the one where he portrayed the black church as a preacher, which I thought was hilarious. That went viral. So he has done it again. I wish I could show it, but I don't have the share joint. Maybe you might want to pull it up and show
Quick review.
Perhaps you can pull it up.
No, I can't. I would change the whole sound thing, and I think the whole podcast would go out if I switched it.
Oh well, I guess I ain't gonna show it. So just go on Instagram, go onto his profile, type Druski, and it's in there. Basically, he did a parody of a white conservative woman. And then the video, it shows this individual, he's dressed in whiteface, blue eyes, white blazer pants, and he comes out with pyrotechnics, American flags in the background, and he's talking about how he's got a Bible in his hand and he's looking in the camera weird, talking about how we need to protect white men. They're precious. And anyway, so it was a very funny skit, but it has caused a lot of discussion over the internet on whether it was funny or it went too far. So after a while, it drew the attention of Erica Kirk. If you know who Erica Kirk is, she is the spouse of the deceased Charlie Kirk, who was killed earlier this year. Was it this year or last year?
Last year.
Okay, last year in 2025.
Yeah.
So if you don't know Charlie Kirk was a pretty vocal conservative individual talking about going around doing debates on people about racism and slavery and things of that nature and about the Christian religion. So anyway, he was unfortunately killed, but his wife, after his death, has been thrust into the spotlight. She does a lot of different engagements and talks, and there's one particular one she did that matches up with what Druski did in his parody. So she, of course, assumed that he is making fun of her among with other people. Two people ride around listening to Tank, his mom and his great auntie. Great point. But anyway, so to the point, it is believed that Erica Kirk is thinking about suing Druski for what he did, saying that it was a bad representation of who she was. So I think it's freaking hilarious. I think it nails her, although the whole point is he doesn't look exactly like her, but it's a great resemblance. And if you look closely, if you put his face, the way he's made up in this parody, to the vice president, he looks like the vice president too. Someone on the internet said if he looks like, in this parody, he looks like if the vice president and Erica Kirk came together as one. And when I looked at it, I was like, that's brilliant. He does look like Vice President Vance. I'll pause there.
Did we forget In Living Color? Druski is a product of the cool things of comedy. Interesting. Gene, that's actually a good point. It is like Living Color. So I watched it this morning. You know my way of comedy. So I'm not, so it's kind of hard for me to judge. So I'll say this, and I know I'm going to get judged for it. I didn't find it funny at all. I didn't laugh one time. So the makeup artist, whoever that is, did an A++ movie makeup job, because nobody would think that's Druski. If you saw him and then saw this woman he's portraying, there's no way you could look at it and be like, dang, that's Druski. Number two is he never said who he was portraying. So for her to assume that it's her, now, was there a lot of similarities to things that she has done and things that he mirrored or he stereoed, he I don't know, he mimicked? Then yes, there are. But he never said it was her. A lot of, and I'll say Pete Sweat. I'll say a lot of people say comedy has no boundaries. Comedy has no, that's where I think that comedy can go too far. Now, am I like, oh my gosh, he shouldn't be making fun of a widow? No, I'm not saying that at all. That's where I'm saying that I think comedy has boundaries, but it's just the way you do it. I don't think he did anything wrong. I did think it was weird that when Erica Kirk came out to her husband's memorial, I think it was, that she came out with pyrotechnics. That was kind of weird. That was a little off. And, if that was the point of making fun of that with the dance moves, and, with comedy, you got to go over the top to make it funny. So he went a little bit over the top. But I don't think he said anything crazy. The comment about black people was kind of crazy. Or about, white people. Like, we love all American, especially the white people with a black cop standing behind them. That was kind of wild. But other than that, I didn't think it was funny, but I didn't think it was over the top. Because it's comedy. And if you think, it's not like Druski's making fun of race, because he did the whole thing with the church, with the black pastors, making fun of them with the cars that they drive and asking for offerings every 5 seconds and the wardrobes they wear. So that's my comment about that. She came out like she was a wrestler in WrestleMania at his memorial. Yeah, that's kind of what I think he was making fun of, or what he saw.
Well, in all honesty, like your style of you're not really a comedy guy anyway.
I don't think making fun of people is funny to me. I have a real soft spot in my heart, and it affects me differently than it affects other people. I don't mind if it's a roast, like the Tom Brady roast was hilarious because you signed up for that and everybody knows what it is. But just to throw out just a random thing and just making fun of somebody, I just have a soft spot in my heart for that. I don't find it funny. That's just me personally.
So did you find a Rick James skit Dave Chappelle did?
No.
Funny?
Nope.
You didn't find a Rick James skit funny?
No.
You know what's coming. Bro, are you serious?
Why can't I have my own opinion about what's funny and what's not? And it be different than yours, and that be okay. This is why I don't like when people make fun of people for stuff. I have a real soft spot in my heart for it. Because you find something funny, and 98% of the world finds it funny, it's okay for somebody not to find it funny. It's almost no different than a car. If you like a type of car, and I don't like the car, there ain't nothing wrong with that.
Wow. Yeah, I think we need to pack this one up right there, man. Ain't much more to say. It's not much more to say.
It was funny.
I will say like this. I'll just give my spin on it, then we can move on, because then at this point it is pointless. But here's my spin. I thought it was freaking hilarious. I think when it comes to comedy, is there limits to comedy? I think there's certain things you shouldn't touch, but ultimately when it comes to comedy, especially parodies, I think it's whatever the artist sees. If the artist sees something and he portrays it, say, hey, Charlie, there's a new joke going around. Have you heard it? What did the five fingers say to the face? Exactly. Justin, tell me, y'all put in the chat, am I wrong for laughing at my co-host because he didn't think the Rick James skit was funny?
The question is,
wrong?
what is funny about me not thinking something's funny?
What do you mean is a question? Because you don't think it's funny. So
what is funny about that?
I will wait.
What is funny about that? That was the question.
If you let me explain, I will tell you. Why do we have to go through this every show?
Go ahead.
Is you wait for a pause, then if no one says something, you continue. That's how conversations happen. Now, as I was saying, the reason why I find it funny that you don't think the Rick James skit is funny in relation to this is because you said, I don't find it funny at all. But you also didn't find a Rick James thing funny. And you also said when someone makes fun of someone else, you don't think it's funny. So that's why I think it's hilarious about it, because you are not in a position to really critique this because you don't have another parody that you ever thought was funny. If somebody were to say, hey, DC, do you think the portrayal of, say, case in point, Barack Obama was funny from the president, whoever sent it out? I'm like, I don't think it's funny.
Okay.
And I would tell you why. Then it was like, well, what about Erica Kirk? This is why it's funny, because it was a person dressed up as a conservative woman. Nowhere in the line or in the video did it mention her name. But the fact that she saw it and she assumed it was her, that's what makes it more funny. Do we know that he was intentionally trying to make fun of her? No. But if you were to ask me and I were to bet the farm, I would say yes. I think that's where he got inspiration from, but he didn't mention her name. That's why I think it's funny. But back to you, nowhere in there is not one parody that you have seen that you thought was funny. Because you said in yourself, you don't think it's funny. You have a soft place in your heart. That's why I think it's funny. So for this topic here, I feel if it offers no relevance because you have nothing to compare it to. Justice says slap. Not at all, but Pete is entitled to feel that way. That said, Rick James was off the chain. I will accept that. That's fair. That's fair.
What I said was, if you remember, I said the Tom Brady roast was hilarious. So I did compare it to something.
That's not a parody.
What would be a comparable parody? I didn't think the Barack Obama thing was funny. Was that a comparable parody?
Yeah, that was kind of a parody. But again, you have not found or mentioned one parody that you thought was funny. Because you said yourself, anybody that is made fun of, you have a soft place in your heart for it. Now, that's your opinion. That's fair. I just think it's funny because there's no way you can really critique this one because you don't think parodies are funny at all. That's why I think it's funny.
When you
That's
say
like me saying, I don't like 4-door cars.
Right.
And then somebody puts a car on the screen and says, what do y'all think about this car? I don't like this car. Well, of course you don't like it. You don't like 4-door cars. It's one thing if I say I like Toyota 4-door cars and someone put a Honda up there and say, I don't like this car. Why not? Because it's not a Toyota, it's a 4-door. But I do like Toyota, so I have something to compare it to.
So
in this instance, there's nothing to compare it to because you, period, do not like parodies.
So what is funny about that? So back to your 4-door car.
I think it's an oxymoron.
Wait a minute. You can't ask me not to interrupt and wait for a pause to talk, and then you just interrupt me. So with your car analysis, if you said, I don't like 4-door cars and people start laughing, would you be like, what is funny about that?
Nope.
What is funny about that?
Is that a rhetorical question? Or
that's an honest question. What's up, Charles Davis? That's an honest question. If you said, I don't know if you do or don't like 4, I don't think you have a problem with 4-door cars. But if that was your stance, I don't like 4-door cars, and somebody starts laughing, you wouldn't say, what is so funny about that?
Nope.
What would you say?
I wouldn't say nothing. What's there to say?
I would think that somebody would ask the question, why did you have that reaction? Just like if I'm telling a story and somebody starts laughing, I'm like, what did I say that was so funny? And they say, oh, when you said this, it reminded me of this. Okay, all right. Didn't mean for it to be funny, but cool. Happy you laugh. But when I say, I didn't think it was funny, I didn't think the Rick James skit that Dave Chappelle did was funny. I just don't know what's funny about somebody not thinking something's funny. That's, I guess, where I'm confused.
I think if you would have led off your critique with, well, first, it's difficult for me to really weigh in on this because I'm not a fan of anybody making fun of anybody. Then I probably would not have thought it was humorous, but you did not. You went into the analysis and you said, I don't think it's funny. And then you said, I don't think anybody gets made fun of. It's funny. I have a soft place in my heart for it. And then I asked, okay, do you think the Rick James skit was funny? You said no. So it's funny to me because you critiqued a person's work. And in the end, there's anything in that genre you don't think is funny anyway. So how can you critique it if you don't like the genre anyway? Again, that goes back to the car. If I'm a fan of motorcycles and you ask me to critique a car and I says, I don't like the car. And then I go in line and says, I don't like any cars anyway. How can you critique it?
I get that. I do understand that. Pete, did you not like the Prince skit too? I don't even remember the Prince skit. I'll be honest, I don't remember the Prince skit. I don't think I watched too much of the Dave Chappelle show because, I be honest, I didn't think it was that funny. But a lot of ways I think is comedy, people don't find funny, and I feel like I'm the minority in this, which is fine. And it's okay for me to have an opinion about something. Now, I will agree with you. I'm not critiquing it. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying I didn't find it funny. I thought the thing about the pyro, I think it brought light to a few situations. And, you know, the way he was portraying how conservative women act when they go to Starbucks. Like, I just was like, okay. It didn't move my needle to laughter. It was just like, oh, okay. Maybe I'm just too serious, but just didn't find it funny. But I'm interested to hear your opinion why you found it entertaining.
Is that rhetorical or that?
No, I'm really interested.
Oh, okay. I thought it was interesting on a number of levels. One, because the parody was based off white conservative women. And so when you look at the current landscape of where we're at today, based on the administration, conservatism is on the rise. If you look at the issues within our government, it's mostly conservative views. It's on the rise. And then you look at the way the skit is portrayed, where they show two different sides. You see there's a white conservative woman, but she comes out the pyrotechnics. Then she's in a video or an interview holding the Bible. And she's emphasizing the importance of the Christian religion and Jesus Christ and stuff. And she looks in the camera and stuff. But then in another clip, she's in a video where they were talking about Iran. And she was saying how she was worried about, you know, say a prayer for our troops and things of that nature. And they said, what do you think about the bombing the Iran school? And she kind of like deflected it. And then there was a part about where she said, or where in the parody it said that, we need to protect the white men of America. They're really important. And they showed a black guy in the background. There's a hidden sign of that too. And then you look at Erica Kirk's video, there's a lot of similarities in there. And so there was a lot of discussion about how, unfortunately, when her husband passed, how she was kind of pushed into the limelight.
True.
Because she wasn't there before.
True.
So all those elements make it hilarious, in my opinion. I think it's hilarious.
I think your points to what you spoke of were more truthful than what I found funny. And I think maybe it's just a me thing, but just didn't find funny. Charles Dave says, Pete, the one who asked the Joker, why so, pretty much my favorite line, well, one of my favorite lines in that movie. Why so serious? I like that, Charles. That's very true. Very, very true. That could be me in a nutshell. Why so serious? Or why so funny? I just need to know. I want to laugh. Let me know what I said or what I did.
I just want to know, give us all an example of something you think was belly hurting, headache inducing laughter.
I said the Tom Brady roast was funny. It's more recently. The Tom Brady roast was funny. I found Martin Lawrence. I forgot his first comedy thing. You So Crazy, I think it was. I thought that was hilarious, although that was way back in the day. Recently, I don't find too much comedy laugh out, sticking, can't breathe funny. I can't remember the last time I laughed at comedy like that. The latest Cat Williams one, it was okay. There was a couple funny parts, but it's almost like a chuckle. I can't. You remember the Dave Chappelle one that came out not too long ago?
What's not too long ago? I remember
maybe a year ago, maybe a little less than a year ago on Netflix.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll watch it. I just can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, I can't remember the name off top, but I thought that was okay. Like some of the stuff he said was pretty funny. The way he story tells, and at the end it's like a joke to it. I think those are funny. Those are pretty funny. But I like Shaq. I'll give you a point when I say making fun of people. I think Shaq and the Fool was funny. I thought that was funny when he was making fun of how people play basketball or things that happen. But I think that's more or less of saying, not really laughing at somebody. Like the JaVale McGee stuff, did I think he went too far? Yeah, he went too far. Having something out there every freaking Shaq and the Fool about how JaVale McGee was messing up. Yeah, calm down. We don't need to make fun of somebody that much. So I think there is a limit. I just don't find it funny picking on people. I really, really don't. I really, really don't. If anything, I hate to say I already put hands on somebody who does stuff like that. Tom Brady's roast was funny. Come on, Pete. Were you that dude in the conference room laughing at the 06 corny jokes? Nah, that's not me. Anybody knows me, that's not me. Not at all. What was the last thing that you remember was, stitching funny or whatever?
I guess I'm a little bit different. There are some things I don't find funny, but when I look at comedy, I try to look at the intent from the artist.
Okay.
Probably the last thing I heard, well, I wouldn't say the Druski skit. This last one was belly hurting, headache induced laughter. Funny, humorous, I guess. I would say I thought his skit with the pastor was funny. That was very funny. I thought the Saturday Night Live skit with Domingo, I thought that's freaking hilarious. I thought one of my favorites is the Keenan and Maya Rudolph skit when they do their version of, I think it's like Reese and CC or something. They don't do the skit anymore, but I thought that was hilarious. Dave Chappelle's last one, I think there was a couple of jokes he made that was pretty hilarious. So, but anyway.
You said there's some things that you don't find funny that maybe other people do.
Yeah, I don't think that thing with Barack Obama's and
I don't know a lot of people that found that funny. Yeah,
there are some people thought it was funny, and they actually compared that to what Druski did.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a little bit different.
You know what I mean? Like, I would say anything. Example, like when Druski dressed up as a white guy hanging out with people in the hood. I thought that was funny because that's what really happens. You know what I mean? I've seen that happens. Now, if I've seen comics dress up in blackface and pretend like, they're black or something. That's borderline. I think if you did that, Charles Davis says, besides funny or not, what is your analysis, Pete? I'll pause there and let you answer that one.
Yeah, just real quick. I think I already gave it. I thought it was interesting. I thought he was trying to make a point more than it was funny. So really my analysis of it is that it was just interesting. I just didn't find it laugh out loud funny. Thought it was more a little bit more truthful than funny.
Shifting quick gears, it's kind of related. I wanted to put this on the docket, but I thought it was funny. And it's gotten to a point, I think you mentioned at a show before, how people are using what people say as a precursor to take them to court for a bunch of money. So comedians these days, it's like an unwritten rule. Like if a comedian says a joke, it's almost like assume they're protected because it's artistry, right?
True.
It's artistry. So there was a comedian, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, that was on stage. His name is Learnmore Jonasi. I can't pronounce his name. But anyway, he made a joke on stage about The Lion King.
Right.
For folks who watched The Lion King, you know how they had it. The
opening scene, yeah.
Yeah, the opening scene, right? So apparently this comedian was on stage and he said the opening chant sounds like, "Look, there's a lion," right?
Mhm.
So the composer of the song, Grammy-winning composer Lebo M, served a comedian at the show, at another show he did, with a $27 million lawsuit, saying that he falsely translated the Lion King opening chant. Served him papers while he was on stage. This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like the thing, don't, yeah, 9 out of 10, that's not what the song says.
Right.
But to sue somebody for, will he get 27 million? No. Will he win?
No.
That's another story. But it's comedy. Now I have a line. Like if you're saying something that is totally untrue, right? Like say if someone comes out and it says, you know, I know that dude, Pete, man, that dude is a rapist and he's a child molester. That's different. You know what I mean? That's defamation of character.
Okay.
If someone to say, I knew that dude Pete on Unpopular Celebrities, he's on that show is nothing, spit nothing but racial tones and he hates white people. I think you should be sued for that because
Okay.
that's totally not the case. Now, somebody say, I know that dude Pete from Unpopular Celebrities. Yo, that dude, he be talking about he know R&B music, whatever. I don't know what that dude is. Is he black? Is he Italian? Is he Turkish? Whatever. I think that's ridiculous. That's what an individual sees from their perspective.
Okay.
So to me, that's the fine line. But in this case, I think it's ridiculous to think that people are going to go to the movies and see The Lion King and just assume because this one comedian says that's what the song says is ridiculous.
Charles Davis says the original Coming to America funny. First of all, that's hilarious. That's one of the best comedy movies ever. That's hilarious. Probably my favorite Eddie Murphy movie was Coming to America. But so a little bit that I took from that part, the only thing that I thought he was suing him on was he did like a interview and he said, I think he was being funny. He basically says like, because I think he has an African accent. I don't know if he does originally or if he does during this when he does that part. But he basically said that I know what they said. They said, look, there's a lion and everybody thinks it's so funny. And the composer took offense to it. And the composer said like, look, there's the king, or look, there's the king. Something like that. It's like a chant or something like that that gets used. But to sue, the part I agree with you, to sue somebody for $27 million, I get making a point, but come on, bro. It's almost like saying, I'm going to ask for whatever I want. And if I get 1% of that, I won. If I get 5%, I really won. If I get 10%, it's amazing. $2.7 million for somebody going up on stage and doing their craft and saying this. Now, I would be interested to know if this lawsuit does come happen and he won. Because to your point, is it responsible for what he says?
Not in the sense I think, yeah, he is, but there are specific rights that are protected by the First Amendment. One is parody and satire. So I think for that case, he's protected. But I want to quickly say that you were correct. It was my mistake. It wasn't, he didn't do it on stage. It was during the interview. Reading the story, it said that this Janasi received a standing ovation for a similar joke he made about the song during a March 12th stand-up performance in LA, according to the lawsuit. The guy, Lebo M, says such viral statements, it says, are interfering with his business relationships with Disney and his income from royalties, causing more than $20 million in actual damages. Like, how do you even...
I don't know how those two things relate.
How do you verify that?
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe how much he was making before the joke and how much he was making after the joke. I don't know, but no one can say that joke did it. That joke was the one that messed everything up. That's really wild to go out there and go on, like you said, go on stage and serve somebody papers. Like, you just want to be made fun of. I would think he would have ripped that thing up. right in front of everybody.
The other interesting thing it says that the complaint also argues that Jonasi presented his translation as authoritative fact, not comedy. So it shouldn't get the First Amendment protections afforded to parody and satire. I would argue, how do you determine that? That's
I
your
was just about to
interpretation.
ask that. Yep. How do you
Yeah.
determine that? But you know what you have to find is a judge that interprets it the way you do, and you win, which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
But I think to your point, as a comic, you got to be careful. Not in this day and age. It's not the 90s where you can almost say whatever you want. I remember Jamie Foxx did a skit not too long, or a long time ago, excuse me, about, I'm sorry, it was Martin Lawrence. It was Martin Lawrence. He was making fun of how Africans were brought over here and how Africans, they dance and, or somebody made a joke about, the Feed the Hungry commercial that they used to have where they had showed a bunch of hungry, maybe Africans or whatever they were, and they have flies all over them, and they were like, blink. I don't know how you sit there with your eyes wide open with flies flying in them, like blink. And so I didn't find it funny, but somebody else who didn't find it funny was like, I'm gonna sue them because they're trying to say that this is a funny situation when it's not supposed to be funny. Whereas to your point and most people's point, comedy doesn't really have any boundaries. So it's really like, but you have to be careful. I mean, if somebody takes offense to it and they have a lot of power, maybe just be careful. I mean, that's the best thing I can say. Be careful.
Yeah, I think if you're defaming somebody's character to a degree, like I said, something that's not true, and it hurts them legally and financially, then I can see why you would sue them. But in this particular instance, it was a joke. And this guy, from reading it, I guess he's of African descent.
Correct.
No different than what Michael Blackson.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Has anybody sued him for the way he says African?
He says some wild stuff.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Does anybody? He says some wild stuff too. And I see his skit, or not his skit, but his comedy shows in person. And there was a couple of things he did I didn't think was funny. It was like borderline, but I don't think he should be sued.
Yeah, sue it. And I think it's just to make a point.
Yeah, it's just to deter people.
Yeah,
people.
And you put a high dollar amount that you can't sue. That's like suing me for $27 million. Like, bro, I haven't had $27 million in my whole life. If I never spent $1 my whole life, I still wouldn't have $27 million. So for somebody like that who probably doesn't have $27 million either, you're not gonna get $27 million. So you're just pretty much being a bully to be a bully. It's just like me suing you for something and then asking for $27 million. You'd be like, the hell? Like,
are you familiar with the Tasha K. Cardi B court case?
Who's the first name?
Tasha K.
No.
So Tasha K is this pretty popular media presence on YouTube that does a show. She does makes fun of celebrities, different things. So anyway, she's been made famous for making fun of Wendy Williams and stuff. Anyway, so she did some shows about Cardi B, talking about she's got like a venereal disease or some stuff.
Whoa.
And so Cardi B sued her and won in court. And
I can see it.
Cardi B to this day. So that's something I can see and agree why somebody would sue.
I'm guessing that's not true.
Yeah, because you're saying something that's not true, that's damaging the person's character, and
Correct.
you're making money, you're profiting off of
Right,
it.
yes.
So I can see that.
Yeah.
But speaking of which, moving into the next quick story is social media. So obviously we on one, Facebook and then Instagram and all this other stuff. I have 2 children and 2 grandchildren. When my kids was growing up, I didn't really have to worry about social media until they were like teenagers. And by that time, it was still in its infant stages. I've always said, I don't understand how people today, our parents, feel for them having their kids grow up in social media. So when you're walking around, let me ask you this question, it's not rhetorical. How many times have you walked around in a place and you see somebody on their phone?
All the time.
all the time. And
Yeah.
how many people you've seen that are children, middle age up to teenagers on their phone?
More frequently than anybody else.
Do you feel like, in your opinion, that children are on social media too much?
Some.
What you mean?
Like, I would say 51%.
Okay. And do you think that children should be on social media at all?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think, I'll say this, I feel like I'm belaboring the point. Last question. Do you think, if you're, what you're saying, you don't have an issue with children being on it for the most part?
Mhm.
If a child is on social media so much that it affects their mental health, is it the parents' fault or social media's fault?
That's where it gets interesting. I think all in all, you're the parent. And we're speaking about a kid under 18, or we're speaking about like a kid like 7 to 10.
Let's talk about 18 and below.
Okay, 18 and below. So I think it's, as a parent, if they're living in your household, it's your fault. You are the responsible one for protecting your child, and protecting them means putting the knife down when you see they're about to cut themselves. Or, you know, telling them the stove is hot before they burn themselves. You know, I think this all comes together in the same realm, that this is messing you up. You need to stop.
Mm.
So yes, parents' fault, 100%. You can't blame social media. You can only blame people what they see.
I agree with you. And so this is what surprised me and is disturbing to me after hearing about this story. March 25th, there was a lawsuit by a bunch of folks, like parents, against Meta and Alphabet's Google. They're the ones that designed the social media platforms.
Yep.
So they were sued, and they lost a $6 million verdict, stating that they created platforms that were harmful to children. The jury found Meta liable for $4.2 million in damages, and Google for $1.8 million. Small amounts for two of the world's most valuable companies, but it sets a precedent for opening to more lawsuits. So apparently, the case involves a 20-year-old woman, a minor when the case began, who was known in court by her first name, Kaylee. She says she became addicted to Google's YouTube and Meta's Instagram at a young age because of their attention-grabbing design, such as infinite scroll
True.
that encourages users to keep looking at new posts.
True.
The jury found Google and Meta were negligent in the design of both apps and failed to warn about the dangers. So some people compared this to the tobacco lawsuit back in the day. I'll pause there. I'm curious to see what you think about that.
No, I can see her point. Do I think she's right? No, but I definitely understand. That is what, and they preach, that is what that is meant for. We say it too. Help us get in the algorithm, like our stuff, and we will get in the algorithm so more people will see it. And that's how their AI system is designed. So yes, she is 100% right. Where I say you're wrong is they're not making you scroll. They didn't make you download this thing. No, it's automatically put on your phone. I think if you have a Google phone, I think it's automatic. But nobody made you get an account. Nobody made you get on the dang platform, and nobody made you scroll, because you don't have the self-discipline to stop. That does not make somebody else wrong. It's like a speed limit on the highway. They put signs out there saying drive this because it's safer. If you want to go 150 miles an hour, you can. You can't blame the car next to you for going 150 miles an hour. That is their fault. It's pretty much the way I look at it.
That's a great point, because it's, to your analogy, if the car tells you, the car gives you the gas pedal, you determine how fast you go. They even got signs up there that post what the speed limit is. If you decide to exceed the speed limit and drive your car past the speed limit at excessive speed, and you get an accident and you get injured, you can't blame the car manufacturer
Right,
because
right.
they didn't put a sign in your car that says "Do not go too fast."
Right.
You know
Like
what I mean? So this what disturbs me the most is it to me it takes the responsibility away from those parents. If you were a minor at the time, to which she claims, and she got addicted, at what point does the parent takes responsibility to monitor your child? There is a comment, I'm trying to find it here, that I think Mark Zuckerberg made that I thought made
Zuckerberg.
perfect sense. Zuckerberg?
Mhm.
Zuckerberg, sorry. That made a comment. I'm gonna paraphrase it because I can't quite find it. He says something about a child's mental health is a lot more complex than just a social app.
Very true. 100%.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, again, they are taking away some of the responsibility from the parents. How does the child get the phone? Nine
Good
times
point.
10 from the parents.
Yep.
How does the child get the internet and the data to use the phone?
Good
Nine
point.
times 10 from the parents. Does the app have specific ways you can limit access to certain sites?
Mhm.
Yes, they do. In fact, you can get a phone and you can lock down the app store where they can't get the apps, but you
Mhm.
allow them to have it.
Mhm.
It's almost like giving. I look at it as you give a kid access to buy candy. If the kid keeps eating candy and gets cavities, you can't blame the candy
Correct.
manufacturer.
Yep. Mhm.
If they don't brush their teeth and you tell them not to buy candy, or you allow a kid to eat anything and they get fat, you can't blame the food manufacturers.
Right.
At some point, you got to take some responsibility. As a parent myself, I find this disturbing that they won this, and this opens up the door for more lawsuits.
Yep.
I am no fan of Meta or Facebook or Instagram. I'm not getting paid by those guys. But I think they got this one wrong.
Yeah. For a judge or jury, whoever was, I guess, and a judge to say this is a thing is kind of disturbing as well, because I think you put 10 people in a room and give this case, 8 people are going to say that, yeah, this is crazy. Charles Davis said, what about the person who sued McDonald's and won millions because they spilled hot coffee on themselves? Grabbed the hot coffee knowing it was hot, but put it on their lap and spilled it and got scolded. Yeah, that's the same thing. I mean, all this is like, I don't want to be like, oh man, I'm trying to think how to word this. All this is ridiculous more than anything. It's straight ridiculous. Like, what is wrong with people? Like, and even on the YouTube thing, you could set time limits. How much you want to listen to, and put a pin code if you want to stop it. So it's like, almost like you're blaming YouTube or Google and Meta for raising your kid wrong. It's like, I'm lost. I'm just totally lost. Now, do I think that some companies go beyond and some of their suits make sense? Yes, but this, to me, I agree with you, is not one of them.
Yeah, I think in the case, Charles, about the hot coffee, I think what they allege is that the individual who served the coffee through the drive-through, the top wasn't all the way on it, and it spilled.
No, the suit was that there was no sign on the cup that said it was hot.
Okay.
So now if you look at coffee cups, they say hot on the side of the cup.
I think it's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, it's still ridiculous regardless.
For a cup of coffee, how many people want cold coffee?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's ridiculous. I think that I guess it goes to the point of, it's all fun and games until it happens to you. It's no different than if I'm walking down your block and I'm in front of your house and I slip and fall and I get to sue you because you didn't de-ice your sidewalk.
Exactly.
I want you to walk on my sidewalk.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But I'm going to sue you because you didn't shovel your sidewalk.
And that's why I say money has no morality at all. has no ethics, no moral, nothing. And I hate to say it, some lawyers don't either, but it's not their job to have that. It's their job to win cases, no matter how crazy. They might think the case is crazy too. They'd be like, hey, you gonna pay me $500 an hour to represent you in something I think is crazy? Cool, let's do it. Which, to me, I mean, it's no morality, no ethics, no nothing involved with money, which is kind of sad. But when you make money so important to the world, this is what happens. I mean, how many parents did you say it was? Or did you say how many parents sued?
I didn't say how.
Oh, okay. I mean, say it was 10. I mean, $6 million is, a little less than $1 million a person, is bonkers. And all you're going to do is buy electronics for your kid. All you're going to do is buy computers and video games. And then, you remember the video game company, I think, got sued for not saying how dangerous the games are. Now games have ratings on them, like M rated, whatever the other rate, N17 rated. Same thing as the movie, the movie theaters. Like, you had to be 13 to get inside a movie theater. Like, so all these things happen because people look at it and be like, it's your fault. Like, you knew the movie was scary. Like, blame it on the movie before you went to go see it. And maybe there was a 1.01% chance that you didn't see a preview. You just walked in the movie and say, oh, that's an interesting title. Freddy kills Jason. Freddy versus Jason. I want to go see that. And you walk in the movie, they'll be like, oh, man, they never said it was scary. I have nightmares now for the rest of my life, so I'm going to sue them. Crazy.
Some of the trial arguments I'm reading is interesting. It said at the trial, the plaintiff's lawyers sought to show Meta and Google intentionally targeted kids and made decisions that put profit over safety. Meta's attorneys emphasized the plaintiff's difficult home life as a child as a cause of her mental health struggles, while YouTube argued her usage of the streaming platform was minimal. Jurors saw internal documents revealing how Meta and Google sought to attract younger users and heard executives, including Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg, take the stand last month to defend company decisions. This part is interesting. He said, when asked about Meta's decision to lift a temporary ban on beauty filters that some inside Meta warned could be harmful to teen girls, Zuckerberg said he decided to let users express themselves. To me, that hammers home the point. Having parents have control of their children.
Yep.
Meta apps, anything that you put in front of someone is a tool. In the end, you decide and should decide how much they have access to it. If you give your child unfettered access to it, you are responsible. And to say that an app that you gave your child access to cause them to have mental health distress, and you're going to blame the company?
Right.
I think it's ridiculous. It's one thing if you put all the filters there to monitor their stuff, and they made it easy where you can, like, in other words, if you can have the child can figure out how to turn it off and they made it easy, then I can see it. But if you don't even engage with the child to prevent it, why are you not held liable?
Exactly.
I think it's ridiculous. And I think this sets a bad precedent to other parents. Just blame other people for how your child ends up.
Right.
Blame other people.
You're right.
You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. But anyway. All right. Where are we at now? I could have went into the TSA one, but I guess that might not be that much great stuff to talk about. I do find it interesting Tyler Perry gave out $250,000 in gift cards to the TSA officers who weren't getting paid. I thought that was interesting.
Say what?
Yeah, Tyler Perry gave $250,000 in gift cards to TSA workers who weren't getting paid.
Wow.
And I feel bad because I think Tyler Perry makes terrible movies. But I think that's
Terrible.
pretty cool he did that. Hmm?
You didn't like the last one he did?
What was the last one?
Where he was basically his son was going to college and he drove with his grandfather across the country to go to this college, and while he went across country he like exposed him to different things of life because he was so sheltered. And he was talking about, I mean, some of the stuff was crazy. Like he gave him a prostitute to have sex with and fell in love with the
Tyler
prostitute.
Perry movie?
Yeah, that was Tyler Perry.
What was the name of it?
Oh man, hold on.
I won't say all. I would say 95% of his movies I've seen were terrible.
Yeah,
His plays are really good.
plays were really good.
His plays are fire.
It's
But his
called
movies-
Joe's College Road Trip. Joe's College Road Trip.
Oh, that's that. It's a play off the Medea character where, it's the one dude.
Yeah, I don't know if that's his dad or whatever it is.
I know him from the Medea character, but what's up, Devon? What's going on? I think people know him for the Medea character, but I think it's blown out of proportion. He's riding that to the end, man. And his TV shows, they're terrible.
Terrible. Yeah,
Terrible.
those are. It reminds me of Lifetime. Like they're just all like the same thing over and over and over and over again.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like black people, we give him a pass because, yeah, he's got his own studio. But
Which
I mean,
is
that's
cool.
the show in itself. Like, how far does it go when we give somebody a pass because we want to champion that they're trying to do something cool, that they're the underdog, that we just ignore that the product is terrible.
Right.
Terrible.
Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of his at all. Like you said it perfectly. His plays were really good.
Yes.
But
really
other than that, man, once he started making movies, it all went downhill. It all went downhill from there.
And to the interesting about the TS workers quickly is the president signed an order to pay them using, I guess, unused funds from somewhere. But they thought they had a deal with the Democrats to end the shutdown, to pay the TSA workers. Devon says Tyler Perry's audience is majority women. I agree. Like, anyway. What I wanted to say about this TSA workers thing is I find it, I think it's irritating going back to the couple of shutdowns we had earlier where the Democrats and the Republicans cannot get on the same page to agree to something and people are affected by it. These dang TSA workers, man, been getting paid. They coming to work. A whole bunch of them quit. Now they gonna pay them. And they lost a bunch of them anyway. Like the confidence of the U.S. government, in my opinion, has dwindled. Because no one cannot come and agree on something. Devon says the DHA bill will take long because of ICE funding.
True.
Like, bro, why? I'm not saying I agree with what ICE does, but can we find a way to come to an agreement without affecting a bunch of people?
Yeah.
It's
That's
like
the bad
whole
part.
people
And not
outfit,
only
man.
affecting them, but you're affecting everybody because longer lines and stuff like that. So it affects everybody.
Yes.
It's like anyway, but yeah, I saw did you see a thing on Elon was gonna pay TSA workers?
I think I missed that.
I think he offered and they told him no.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah.
And then also, did you hear President Trump signed his name on $100 bill?
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. I think this is the first time it's happened in since 1930. Signed so you could have a Donald Trump signature on your latest $100 bills. And I'm like, TSA workers can't get paid, but this is what you're focusing on? You heard the thing he said about Sharpie?
Sharpie.
He signs the bills or whatever with Sharpie pens.
Mm.
And then he hands them out. he hands out the Sharpie pens. Correct me if somebody needs to correct me if I'm wrong, and hopefully I'm not wrong. I think they charge like $1,000 a pen. The government paid for those pens. It's either 100 or 1,000. Whatever it was, ridiculous. And he's handing these things out like they're 10 cents. I thought they were like the regular Sharpies. But because Sharpie made these, they charged the government that amount. Now they have new pens that are all black with his signature on it, or a replica of his signature, and the White House in gold. It's ridiculous. Pete, this is why we should vote. No, Charles Davis is the complete opposite. This is why we don't vote. What you voting for? We did vote. We voted for him. And this is what you got. Right, wrong, or different. Right, wrong, or different. I didn't vote, so I don't have a fight in this, but hey, you voted. Maybe you voted for him. Maybe you voted for the other person, but regardless, it doesn't matter. Does not matter. As long as the Electoral College determines, oh man, who's the president, who's not, no need to vote. My personal opinion. I mean, God dog it. Cool to have rights. Trying to fix my camera. There we go.
Charles says, Pete, we're not going down this road. About voting. You sound cray-cray.
Hey, cray-cray. All right. We don't have to. But anyway. That's all the topics, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Can I bring up the last one? I sent you the video on it. I'm not sure if you watch it. The coach for Syracuse.
Yeah, I think I saw some.
I think her name is Felicia Leggett Jets or something like that. But she's upset because Syracuse, which Syracuse is up there by New York, keeps playing UConn in the tournament. And they play in UConn. And she's upset because she says it's not fair. Basically, and their team lost by over 50. And so she says it's not fair that we have to keep playing this school at their gym or in UConn in the tournament. What's your thoughts?
She probably upset she lost.
Oh, 100%. But what's your thoughts on them having to keep playing this team in their school?
I don't know. I don't really have nothing, to be honest. I mean, they're in the same conference, right?
Well, it doesn't matter. They're in the tournament, but they get put in the bracket.
Why did it get put in the same bracket?
It's just how the numbers come out.
It's not based on conference?
No.
Okay, well, then she might have a valid point then. Like, if there's no rhyme or reason, like they always in, I thought maybe if it was because of conference, I'd be like, all right, we'll take your L and chill. But if there's no rhyme or reason, it's just every single time they play them, then yeah, I can't blame her. But there's a part of me that says, yo, if you know you're going to play them, get better.
That's what I say, 100%. It's not fair we watch so many missed layups. Yeah, that's true too. But that's my point. Like, I've never heard a coach complain about another team being better and we having to play them. What? It ain't like it was a surprise. You knew who was in your bracket. You knew there was a possibility. Learn that now. If they're just better because they got more talent, NIL. I don't know. NIL was supposed to make it fair, get more money. That was bonkers to me. Somebody actually went on TV and said, it's not fair we have to play them all the time. What? If that was my coach, I would quit the team tomorrow. You should be mad at your team for getting beat by 50. Mad at yourself for not having a better game plan. I don't mind if you get beat by a buzzer beater, you get beat by 10. Get beat by 50? You wasn't even supposed to be there. And you're right, maybe you should be mad. Like, we wasn't supposed to be there, why they put us there with them.
I'm curious to see what the statistics are because I agree with you, but if every year they always play them, and it's not because of, say, the division, I have to wonder, like, okay, why is it that we always end up playing them? I think it's a fair question.
I think some is because where they're based at it, because Syracuse is by New York, Connecticut is by New York. I think her thing is not that we have to play them, it's that we're playing them at their home gym. Because Syracuse, or excuse me, UConn is the #1 ranked. Usually #1 ranked, they play at their house.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's fair. That makes sense.
Yeah. But they're
why
saying
do
where
they
they're
end
putting
up-
the bracket, they could be put lower and play the #2 seed, but where they're put as a #12 seed, they'll play them eventually. And she's upset, like, hey, put us at 14, so we'll play the #2 seed. And then when they do play UConn, it won't be at UConn's home. But basically, she's upset, like, win more games, become the #2 seed, then you ain't got to worry about it. There's so many variables in place to that comment that it's just like, you're basically saying, my team is not that good, stop punishing us by playing the best team. Kind of ridiculous. I would never, ever thought a coach would say that. Never in my life. Yeah, like Charles Davis, Syracuse coach should recruit better. You know you're going to play them, then recruit to beat them. I never thought I'd hear a coach say that in my life. Anyway, good show today. Good show today.
Yeah, I'm reading the story a little bit more. I guess there's some folks believe she has a legitimate beef, but I don't think that's how you address it. I mean, I think in the end, like, if you know they're coming, and Charles made a good point, you need to recruit better.
Yeah.
You know you're going to play them. It's almost like, this reminds me of, maybe it's not the same, but it kind of similar. It almost reminds me of when the Bulls were playing in the NBA. They kept losing to, I think
the Knicks.
They kept losing to the Knicks of Detroit.
Detroit, yeah, you're right. Detroit.
They just like, they know they always beat us, and then finally they got the right pieces together and they finally won. So I see it the same way. You just got to put the right pieces together and win. But getting on the microphone saying it's not right, it's like y'all giving up.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we'll never beat these guys. It's not fair.
That's kind of how I took it. I'm like, if you was my coach, I'd be so basically you saying you never believed in us from the start, and you're not even mad at us. You're mad at them. I'd rather you be mad at us. We got beat by 50.
Yeah, take that L and beat
50.
Yeah.
You scored 45 points. Like, come on, man. Like, and they scored 98. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then be like, oh, it's not fair. We have to play that. Oh, so that's why you lost by 50, because you had to play them at their house. Where if you played at a neutral site, you would have only lost by 20. That's okay. You here to win, or you here just to not lose by a lot? Man, if I was Syracuse athletic director, I would be firing her so quick.
Dang.
Hey, you don't deserve to coach no more. Go coach freaking elementary school where wins and losses don't matter, where everybody plays.
Dang.
Ridiculous.
Crazy work.
Man, ridiculous, man. Disappointed. Disappointed as a basketball fan that you would have that she would have that take. Disappointed. Highly disappointed.
Just emotion, man. She probably just disappointed because, frustrated. I can understand frustration, but that's just
yes. But tailor it to the right people. You mad at the other team for beating you because they get to play at home, or mad at the NCAA for putting you against them? Like, what?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Good show. Good show today. Longer show again. Getting these 2-hour shows knocked out. But good topics. Good topics by you picking good topics. So I appreciate you doing that. It helps out the show move in a great direction. Move on its pace and its schedule. Thank you for everybody being on, whether you're on live or be on later. I think we're messed up in Facebook algorithm, so we'll have to be on a little bit more to improve that, work on that a little bit. But yeah, Yeah, maybe post a little bit more on there, stuff like that. See if we can improve on that. Always room for improvement.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, any comments about you before we get on?
Go Birds.
We're still Eagles fan?
As always. Go Birds.
Okay. All right. I heard Jalen Hurts is asking for a trade.
Actually, I heard Myles Garrett coming to the Eagles.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right, laugh. It's been all over. It's been all over ESPN. They said we the front runners.
I think they always say that
Myles
about
Garrett.
everybody. Yeah, I mean, y'all should have the money. Y'all ain't got nobody else on defense that y'all paying, so y'all should have the money.
Crazy, bro. You crazy.
I heard Slay's coming back to the Eagles to retire though.
Because it's the Eagles.
You know how they do that thing where they sign him for like one day and then I heard he's doing that.
I wish I could show that map of the United States when they did the latest study of fans. Eagles fans are everywhere.
Do you think it was the same in the early 2000s?
No.
Yeah, okay. So it's just because y'all winning.
Okay. We're popular. You know what I mean? That's fine. We'll take them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We'll take them.
Good luck on keeping AJ Brown, but I think he's staying. I think
we don't care. We don't care. We don't care about AJ.
Wow. Y'all heard it here first. Y'all heard it here first. Say it again. Say it again.
I said that before. I don't care about AJ. Let him go. Yo, his dude was a cancer, man. If he keep him, he better go to work. He better go to work.
What happened to them being the best duo, the best receiver duo?
Philly is known to get rid of people.
Oh, you ain't lying about that. Y'all got rid of Santa Claus. Y'all don't care. Yeah.
If you ain't, if you gonna quit, you gone. Now there's probably half and half of the fan base that want to keep AJ. I want to give two ducks. I'm tired of hearing about it.
What about Saquon?
Or shut the duck up. That's what I say.
What about Saquon? He cool.
Yeah, Saquon's cool. We got a backup now. Look, we got the dude from Houston Texans.
Oh, man, what's his old name?
We still got Tank Bigsby. You know what I'm saying?
What's the dude's name from the Texans? He's super old.
I can't remember. No, he ain't super old, man. Let me look it up. Philadelphia Eagles, Houston Texans trade.
David Montgomery. Montgomery's super old.
No, it ain't David
Montgomery. Woody Marks?
That sounds familiar.
No, Montgomery went to Detroit. I don't see them gotten away from the Texans.
Yeah, man, let me see. I'm trying to find that dude. Damian Pierce.
Oh, Pierce. Oh, wow.
That's right.
Wow, Pierce.
That's right. So we got backups. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna hit the draft running, get another offensive lineman. You know what I mean? We got Hollywood Brown. Hollywood
gonna be hurt by game 3, come back game 6, and be hurt again by game 7.
We got Dallas Goedert back. You know what I'm saying? We good. If AJ want to go, peace.
Y'all got rid of your third wide receiver, whatever his name was.
Who?
What was your third wide receiver's name? Y'all got rid of him.
Dotson.
Yeah, Dotson. Yeah, y'all just got rid of him.
Brown.
Oh, okay.
That's right. You know what I'm saying? We good. You know what I'm saying? On defense, we still got Jalen Carter. We still got Jordan Davis.
Mr. Spit in your face.
Guantanamo Bay Mitchell. We still got Coop DeJean.
I do like DeJean.
We got Makuba. We got Jahad Campbell that took the place of Nakobe Dean. And we're going to get Myles Garrett. We good.
I like DeJean and I like your other running back. What's his name? The one who went to the Pro Bowl? No, he's a linebacker. Dean? No, not Dean. What's your linebacker? He's really, really good. Huh?
Zach Bond?
Vaughn. Yeah, Vaughn. I do like him.
Zach Bond, we good, bro.
I do like him.
Tell you, Super Bowl next year, baby. Tell you.
Wow. I wouldn't say all.
Wouldn't say all. We could work with Jalen. You know what I'm saying? We could work with Jalen a little bit, get him to throw balls over the middle. We good. We Gucci, man.
Y'all still got Adoree Jackson?
Who?
Adoree Jackson?
He's trash. We got rid of him.
Oh, y'all got rid of him. But
we got that dude Watson. from the Seahawks, bro.
Oh, not Watson.
Whatever his name is, Rico, whatever his name is.
Hold on. He's really good. It
That's
starts with
right,
a
he's
W.
really good. Already then.
Dang, what's his name?
Lockdown corners.
Where's
Rick, whatever his name is, Rico, whatever his name is.
where's Justin when we need him?
Shoot. He know what it is. Shoot. He got that ring. Shoot. Let me look.
Woolen.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Shoot.
Woolen. He's a head case, but y'all
that's
got him.
fine.
Yeah,
We
he's a
used
head
that.
case.
Look, we had CJ Gardner
He's-
Johnson. He can't be no worse.
Yeah, he was like George Pickens, but George Pickens did right with the Cowboys, but he's like Pickens. He's a little head case.
Hey, we good, bro. Shoot.
Well, all I gotta say is
Bang bang Niner gang. Bang bang Niner gang.
That makes no sense.
going for the Niners next year. Anyway.
Make a decision. Are you a Falcons fan or a Niners fan?
Oh, I always rise up, but you know we ain't going nowhere. We can't figure out our quarterback situation. We can't figure out our quarterback situation.
If y'all a Falcons fan,
yeah, it's sad for us. It's sad for us. It's sad. Sad. Tom Brady done put a 20-year hurting on us. Sad.
To the CFL.
Yeah, we might need to. We probably lose in the CFL. Shoot, we need to go to the NCAA. Probably lose there too. Go to a bowl game. Yeah, we're bad. All right. Anyway, we're prolonging the show. So holla at y'all next week. See y'all later. Appreciate y'all for coming.